In investigative journalism, sometimes court documents are the only way we ever hear from the people involved, sharing their voices and telling their stories. Well, those documents are used as instruments when charging someone with a crime or accusing someone of wrongdoing. But often, those documents give only few details unless those involved speak out. Well, a woman who says that she was raped by a state Supreme Court justice in Monroe County is coming forward. She's telling her story in detail for the first time since making these accusations in a lawsuit against the state Supreme Court, Monroe County, and others in 2023. And as 7 News I-Team investigator Ed Dranch explains, this case is now being heard here in Erie County to avoid any conflict of interest. And we do want to warn that the details of what you're about to hear may be disturbing.
A divorce from her husband had Rebecca Klymn thinking about one thing, and one thing only.
My priority was my son, making sure he had a stable home, food on the table, and a parent that was always there for him.
It was 2005. He was young. She was about to become a single parent. That was something Klymn says her boss, State Supreme Court Justice Matthew Rosenbaum, knew all too well.
I was told that it was a condition of my employment. Sexual acts that he deemed necessary. My initial response was no, that's not part of my job. And I was then advised that it was a part of my job and it would also be contingent on my maintaining custody of my son.
In other words, Klymn alleges if she didn't perform sex acts for Rosenbaum, it was clear, at least to her, he'd have her son taken away.
It was extremely demeaning, and every single time it happened, I contemplated whether it would be better for me to just leave my son and be gone altogether, so that I did not have to do that.
The abuse, she says, continued for years. A complaint filed in state Supreme Court alleges that until 2009, the judge compelled Klymn to perform fellatio more than 80 times in his judicial chambers in Monroe County. But on November 14th, 2006, Klymn says things changed, asserting Rosenbaum showed up at her house demanding he be let in or he'd cause a scene. Klymn says she felt like she had no choice but to let him in, where she claims he raped her.
And so he told me that I needed to put on high heels and then proceeded to follow me to my bedroom, where he forced me face down onto my bed and proceeded to rape me. And while I was crying and telling him to stop, he finished and he said he needed a towel to clean himself up so that his wife didn't know what happened. And then he left.
To my wife, as I have said, I am sorry beyond my ability to express it in words.
In a taped response to these allegations in 2021, Rosenbaum admits to having a relationship outside his marriage.
There is another issue I must confront. That is the untrue allegation that the relationship was anything but consensual. It was always totally consensual. And any attempt to frame it as other than that is both untrue and unfair.
Rosenbaum, through his attorney, refused to speak with me. He resigned as a judge in 2019 and agreed to never seek or accept judicial office in the future. As a result of this agreement with the Commission on Judicial Conduct, Klymm's attorney says the investigation into these claims just stopped. And that was that.
This case is about power and abuse of power.
The Commission on Judicial Conduct explains, in cases where a judge resigns pursuant to a stipulation with the Commission, the matter is closed.
There is a movement to have that changed, that process. I think it would go a long way towards equalizing the balance of power.
That power, Lindy Korn, Klym's attorney, says was so skewed in the former judge's favor that supervisors, who Klym says she reported Rosenbaum's behavior to, never reported it up the proper chain of command. Korn writes in a lawsuit against the state and the court system, high-ranking employees of New York's 7th Judicial District joined together in a unified group whose goal was to protect Supreme Court justices, especially male justices, from any and all challenges to their autonomy with complete impunity.
You know, if you really get up the courage to complain about sexual harassment and the other allegations, including an allegation of rape, that takes a tremendous amount of courage. But when she did, radio silence. The state's policies to protect its employees, including our client Rebecca Klym, utterly failed.
What do you want other women to know who are going through the same things?
I want them to know that they should not be quiet. That they, as hard as it is, and as hard as this has been for me, don't keep it in. Continue to tell your story.
This lawsuit against the state and the court system continues to play out here in an Erie County State Supreme Court room. I've reached out to the Monroe County District Attorney's Office to get information about a possible criminal investigation or charges. They've not returned my request for a comment. For the 7 News I team, I'm Ed Dranch.